just set foot into the colony and was already playing messenger for the fire mages. Sounded simple enough. To become part of the old camp, he would still have to get a handful of people to put in a good word for him. Diego sent him on another errand, to get a supply list from the old mine. He left enough of an impression in the old camp to get an audience with Gomez. Corcalon's apprentice had gone missing. He was also a mole for the old camp, so Raven wanted to know his whereabouts. A piece of information suggested a look into Kane's living quarters would be wise. The evidence found in Kane's hut was pointing to the abandoned mine. Kane had found his end by the hand of an undead orc. But what's more interesting was that amulet, first and foremost to the alchemist himself. Corcalon deemed the amulet found by Kane's body important enough to be taken to Iberian. Iberian sent him to retrieve a focus stone, together with Nyrus. Retrieving the focus stone didn't quite go as planned. Nyrus experienced a sort of mental break. Something to do with the stone, the sleeper. Definitely something of interest to Iberian. Iberian was in need of a particular almanac from the Fire Mage's library. The Brotherhood needed a large amount of mine-crawler ichor for their ritual, from a nest in the old mine. Getting to that mine-crawler nest was harder than it seemed, alone at least. But he had won some allies in the meantime. No easy feat slaying a mine-crawler queen. Taking the eggs to the camp seemed like a stroll through the meadows in comparison. The Great Awakening was to take place at the Temple Square at night. Everything from that vision seemed to be pointing to the Orc Cemetery. Everyone Kor Angar had sent to investigate the cemetery was dead, and Baal Lukor had to follow suit. With Iberian dead and the swamp camp divided, Corcalon, together with his followers, set off to find the sleeper. The friends seemed to be hatching a plan, but Satyrus wanted to meet up first. For the new camp's escape, Satyrus needed the remaining focus stones. Diego, Lester, Gorn, and Milton were ready to help. One focus stone was at the old monastery. To get inside, he had to turn himself into a meat bug. One of the remaining focus stones was in a canyon, guarded by a troll. One of the focus stones was underneath a stone circle, inside a crypt that was swarming with undead. Another focus stone was at the mountain fortress, guarded by harpies. Now he had all 4 of the remaining focus stones for Satyrus. The focus stones alone wouldn't have been enough to blow up the ore pile, Satyrus would have to ask the fire mages for help. Gomez had the fire mages assassinated. Satyrus sent him to the all-seeing mage, Zardas. He was held off by the demon who was guarding the tower. The 3 golem hearts are the key to get past him. He made it past the demon to Zardas, who then sent him to Urshak, the orc shaman. Urshak told him which components he needed to bring to Tarok, so Tarok could craft the Ulumulu for him. With the Ulumulu, he was going to enter the Orc Enclave without much trouble, but not before having another word with Urshak. Of course, the Orcs wouldn't just let him stroll into the temple, so he needed to find a way to enter it. The Sleeper Temple was humming with magic long forgotten and powers long dormant. But where was the source? He returned with the sword Uriziel. Only the gemstones that make the sword what it is must have been left behind somewhere inside the temple. The gemstones needed a charge of energy from a large magical source, like an ore pile. There was only one last thing remaining now. The Sleeper.
Banishing the Sleeper had its price. While the other convicts rushed out into their newfound freedom, the fallout of the battle turned the temple into a crumbling death trap. I tried to get out, but it was too late. And so my story found its end. Or did it?